In a land far, far away, in a time so long ago, and yet still echoing through the roots beneath our feet, this is the game of claws, where tribes did not just fight for land, but for water, for power, for survival, where betrayal wore feathers and alliances were carved not in stone, but in scars. And while the great houses of Betrayals clashed and clawed at each other, danger was looming on the horizon. The ships were sailing, the Pale Ones were on board, in numbers, armored, and prepared for war. Yet they were wearing a smile and preaching peace. They came bearing gifts, but bent on destruction. This, my friends, is not just a story of beasts. It is the truth told through fur and fang, a history too raw to teach in schools, but too real to forget. This is episode 2. The Clash of the Claws. Enjoy. The lions of the great royal house, Rorista walked with a peace flag. They had worked so hard for peace, but it was fragile. In the west, House Stripader watched the waters. Their words, balance above all. In the south, House Fangwa sharpened their claws. Their words, strike unseen. In the north, House Zuba guarded the plains. Their words, strength in numbers. In the hills, House Makulu read the skies. Their words, wisdom watches everything. On the coast, House Inkonga hissed, slithered, and whispered through vines. Their words, wait, then bite. And in the broken lands, the hyenas of House Makani laughed low. Their house motto was, he who laughs last, lasts longer. High above, hidden behind rocks, leopards watched with still eyes. They waited without blinking, dressed in light armor. This wasn't hesitation, it was calculation. They didn't want peace, they wanted the moment. The ambush came fast. Dust rose, claws flew, the banner fell. One lion roared, one lion dropped. The leopards were gone before anyone could ask why. Located north of Betrayals were the owl. They were from the great house Makulu. Alas, in that year, rain came too late and too hard. Crops drowned, hills collapsed. Far to the west of Betrayals lies House Zuba, famed for its strength. When the Pale Paws came, they saw muscle, not majesty. They dreamed of cotton fields and chains. But to break the horns, they needed a Judas. And soon, one of the brothers whispered. The younger rhino prince didn't wait for tradition. He went to the snakes with an offer no one else would make, selling brothers and sisters to unknown men, to lands unknown, sold in chains in exchange for power and money. The young rhino prince, soon joined by a greedy lion king, betrayed their own 4 mirrors, spices, linen, and guns. In a broken jungle, silence looks too much like guilt. The jungle looked up at them and saw a curse. Waiting near the waves were ships tall, still, and not from any house. That night, the jungle didn't sleep. It turned its face away, and in that trade, something deep broke. Trust, like tusks, doesn't grow back once shattered. But in their greed, they opened the door to the enemy. The Pale invasion operation was in full swing. Soon, everything was going to change. What they traded for trinkets would cost them kingdoms. They awakened a hunger they could never feed, a monster they could never tame. All across Betrayals, fires burned, alliances cracked, trust turned to ash. From a high tree, a young owl watched the sea. He had no answers, just a whisper to himself. Then he saw the ships, not 1, not 5, dozens. Tall, black sails moved through the mist. The pale ones stood in rows. They didn't speak, they didn't need to. They were not here to talk. They were here to count, to name, to draw lines we didn't ask for, and still, we kept arguing while they kept sailing in. The ships kept sailing. The jungle kept bleeding, but things were about to change. The pale ones were coming, and the clash of claws was only the beginning. This is Game of Claws. Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.